We are live. What is up, Nerd Nation? Welcome back to This Week in Schmoedown. I'm your host, Chance Ellison. I know this isn't my channel, but I'm running the stream, so Hunter can screw off. And speaking of screwing off, the owner of this channel, Hunter Chambliss. What's up, Hunter?
What's going on, you assholes? I'm happy to join you guys every weekend to run down.
Don't insult our audience.
Huh?
Don't insult our audience.
I'm talking to you, you asshole.
Okay, that's fine. That's fair.
I'm always glad to do these every weekend, starting, like last week. Every Saturday, we're here to talk about our favorite thing, the Schmoedown.
Okay. And joining us, we have two new guests. First of all, he is the Canadian Nightmare and Master of Porks. He's Mark Borick. Mark, what's up, man?
What is up, everybody? And also, Hunter, just confirming, you weren't calling the panel assholes, right?
No,
Not
just
the
me.
panel, just Chance.
Okay. Good, okay.
Just me.
Just Chance.
Supporting you for your upcoming match against JTH for the wrestling trivia. So, if you're calling me an asshole,
Nah.
then I have to throw my support behind a great opponent of mine, JTEH. So,
And you kind of spoiled the next one, but our other guest you may recognize from around Schmoeville. In general, it is JTH. JT, what's up, man?
What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. It's that people need to be spoiled as to who I was.
Right? Okay, so basically, here on this show, we discussed the week in Schmoedown, and we had a big week this week. First of all, let's talk about the team match. The team match, we had a #1 contenders match take on the Patriots between Team Top 10, of course, John Roca and Matt Nose, facing up against Team Top That, formerly known as IGN, which of course consisted of Jim Vejvoda and Eric Goldman. Final score was high scoring match. Final score for that one was 35-30. Let's start with Hunter. Hunter, you look at this match. What's your first impressions of this match?
First impressions of this match was I knew it was going to be a good one. I knew it was going to be very competitive. And going into it, you could tell that the fire was lit under John Roca. And he came to play and take nothing away from Matt Nose. The dude played a great match tonight, or Tuesday night, I believe it was.
It was Tuesday night, yes.
Yes, you had a top 10 that was really on the same page and really fired up because of what happened with Team Action and all that stuff. So they went in there, they did their job, and they came out with a win.
Yeah, right on, right on. Let's go to Mark next. Mark, what did you think of Top 10 versus Top of That?
Originally, when going into this match, I was thinking to myself, really, after that performance, there's a potential #1 contenders match between Top 10 because of their performance against Team Multiple Choice. Team, we can't answer our own categories that questions that we're known for. Team Action, we can't answer any of the questions. Like, really, you defeat a team like that, and you get a chance to become #1 contenders. I was like, that's not fair. But then again, you see the match that happened on Tuesday. You're like, okay, yeah, no, this is a #1 contenders worthy match right here. Two great teams that really know their stuff. Unfortunately, Team Top 10 was able to capitalize on Team Top That. Honestly, these so many T's in Team Top That, Team Top 10. There's 6
Battle of the Tops.
No, Battle of the T's. There's 6 T's in saying their name. But it just like the score. It was a phenomenal scoring game, and it just like I was saying before. Top 10 was able to capitalize on Top That, not watching any other matches. So they were given that choice of opponent's choice in round 2, and they chose probably John Roca's absolute strongest
category
biopics. And
yeah,
John Roca got the 8 points out of that round. Never missed it.
Well, we'll get into specifics in a bit, but let's go to JTH next. JTH, what are your impressions of this match?
The match, I thought itself was actually really good. I mean, it's from start to finish. It was nonstop action. I mean, from round one with the top 10, both sweeping in the first round, both completely running the table, and both getting the bonus question. Absolutely unheard of. That's something we had never seen before. We'll probably never see again at least in the very foreseeable future. And I know a lot of people have made a big deal about the decision that Top That made in round two. At the same time, though, let's not, bury them for what they did, because at the end, they ultimately got comic book movies, so they got their strength versus top 10 strength. So in the end, it was still a level playing field. So at the end of the day, it just came down to who got more questions right. And in round three, top 10 got the question right when they needed to get it right, and they ended up getting the huge victory when it mattered. And for Mark saying that top 10 didn't really deserve the number one contenders match, well, granted, that was what the stipulation was for beating Team Action at Spectacular, so it was going to happen regardless whether people thought they had earned it or not. But all in all, it was a great match, and now looking for the third encounter between top 10 and the Patriots, whenever that may be, but really looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Before we now let's get into some statistics. Now let's get into some technical stuff. Looking at the stats for this match, brought to you by the Schmoedown Rundown. We're not sponsored by them, but we like those guys and they're fun. So that is that, guys. So looking at these stats, like top 10, granted, JTH already brought it up. They're the first team for which both players got a perfect round and hit the bonus question. But also, this is the most accurate match ever played by a team. Out of the 27 questions they were asked, they hit 26. That is a 96.3% accuracy rate. That's incredible. That is unheard of. And you see that performance, and you're like, where has that top 10 been for the better part of a year? Because I guarantee you put that top 10 in that title match against the Patriots, they'd had the belts back already. I guarantee. They also had out of the points they scored, they scored 87.5% of the points they could have possibly earned, that's incredible performance by top 10. And looking at IGN, look, 30 points, nothing to sneeze at. Some teams would kill for 30 points.
Yeah.
They went 20. They went 21 for 25 for an 84% accuracy rate. No steals on either team. And points possible, they scored about a 79% out of points possible. Why did I call them IGN? Top of that. I think that performance against any other team, top 10 get that title shot. Not top 10, top that. God, Mark's right. This is confusing. But
just call them IGN right now. It's fine.
IGN. I'm going to call them top that. We got to stay on brand. They're top that now. But you look at that. First of all, I'll pose a panel to you guys. Where do you think top that goes from here? Do you think they come back, take a break? Do you think maybe, you think they come back? Do you think they try to go for the title run? Think they take a break? Let's go to JTH. JTH, what would you like to see top that do next?
Well, what I think they'll probably end up doing, they'll probably end up getting the team that doesn't win the above the line MODOK match that Schmoedown confirmed a little while back. They'll probably end up playing the team that doesn't come out on top there. As far as who I personally want to see them play next, I actually kind of want to see them play a critically acclaimed. I actually think that would be a really high scoring, highly contested match. Simply because they all pretty much have the same strengths, same weaknesses, and whoever came out on top of that match would definitely, I think, be next in line for another number one contenders match.
Yeah, absolutely. Mark, where would you like to see top that go from here?
Like JTH was saying, the tag team division is definitely one of my favorite divisions in the Schmoedown right now. there's a lot of top teams. There's a lot of up and coming teams, and right now the top of the division is stacked. You've got heavy hitters all over, so it's really close. Like in all honesty, I would have liked to have seen the winner of this match being top 10 face the winner of Above the Line and MODOK, and then let that be a #1 contenders match. Because like ever since the MODOK lost their tag team match to the Patriots last summer, I've been craving for another rematch right there, and unfortunately, I feel MODOK's been left out of the loop for the most part because they weren't in in that tag team tournament, and the same with Team Top That. Sorry. Well, if I could only imagine how like the tag team tournament was awesome, but like you throw those two teams also in there, you would have had more of a heavy hitter, and then you probably would have had another. I guess you don't really want to do another mini tournament so soon after the last one. So I can see them doing this. Let the Patriots beat top 10 again for a third time, and I really want to see like the top of the tag team division work its way out. Like there's a lot of. It's hard to say where they go from here. You've got heavy hitters all over the place, and even some of the ones that you're not suspecting. Rachel Cushion and
Clark Wolf.
Yep.
Clark Wolf.
The Shire Wolves.
Yeah.
Shire Wolves, baby.
Unfortunately, like I've made this prediction, like it may end up like the way Wolves of Steel went. With like you got two great competitors, but they don't in tag team matches. They don't win matches, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I think that's where I may see where that's going. Like how the Wolves of Steel went with that team. Mark Riley and Clark Wolf, like you got two really great players, but they just can't, as a team, they just can't get the victories. Unfortunately for their, so I think you got there, but like top that, like it's hard. It's so hard to figure out where everyone fits in right now.
All right, and Hunter, anywhere you like to see top that go from here? Maybe Veva and the singles.
I kind of agree with JTH and Mark about. I think they're going to get the loser between MODOK and Above the Line. Me personally, I would kind of like to see Top That take on Above the Line. I feel like that'd be a good back and forth contest, especially for what Above the Line did in the teams tournament. Pretty much, they're not going anywhere. I mean, 30 points is nothing to sneeze at. They did incredible. It's just giving Roka biopics was probably the worst thing they could have done. But they also, as Jeremy pointed out, they also got their strength and combat movies. So it's just, it could have gone either way in that match. So I don't see him going anywhere anytime soon.
All right. Now about the aftermath of that match. So with this victory, Top 10 will get a third title shot at the Patriots. We're getting Patriots versus Top 10 3. What do we all think of that match? I'll go first. Personally, I am just so sick of seeing Top 10 take on the Patriots. Nothing against John Rogan, nothing against Matt Nost. I want new blood. I want to see someone else take on the Patriots because either way, they go, they lose. The Patriots have beaten Top 10 for a third time. They go, they win. Christian's already said they get an immediate rematch for the titles. So even if they win, we get Top 10 versus Patriots 3 and 4. I'm growing tired of this match, but at the same time, I actually do hope they win because I cannot stand those Patriots. So let's go. So what does everybody think? How does everybody think that match is going to go? Hunter, I'll go to you. Do you think Top 10 can take out the Patriots, or will they take out the Patriots?
All right. The way I'm going to preface this is if we get Top 10 from Tuesday's match, the 35-point, bulldozers pretty much, then yes, they can. It just depends on which Rucker we get and which Nose we get. It all depends on the player's mindset. We've seen them slip against the Patriots. Patriots can get in their heads a lot. Can they stay focused and can they focus and answer the questions when they come? That's the most important thing.
All right. I think it's funny. At the end of the match, JT was like, "Why? Why do I keep playing you guys?" I was like, "Yeah, thank you, Chairman, for the entire audience." Let's go to JTH. JTH, what do you make of the match of Patriots versus Patriots versus top 10? Do you think they'll come out on top this time?
Well, as a person wearing the Outlaw Nation shirt, you would probably have an assumption of what I would say. But unfortunately, everything that Hunter said is kind of the problem with this match. Top 10 just does not fare well when teams play head games with them. The only exception was that second match they had with Team Action, and that's just because Team Action completely threw up on themselves and completely wet the bed. Other than that, they have not fared well against teams that are get mental with them. Like John Roca has completely lost his mind when he has played teams like Team Action and the Patriots. Like he was missing Star Wars questions again, like it was Bespin all over again. The second time they played the Patriots. So it's like it's hard to put into grasp how they can be so good in one match, and then when they play a team that they should be favored at and they should be better at, that they never get the job done. Until it's one of those cases, and I know it's me being kind of naive and all that, but it's a kind of a predicament that I would have to believe it when I actually see it, that they would actually be able to pull it off. So would I be rooting for them to do it? Absolutely. But do I think they would actually pull it off? Probably not. But at the same time, I didn't think they were going to beat Top that either. So, I mean, it's just going to depend on, what ends up happening. If a small spectrum of that team that we saw against Top that does show up, then yeah, they absolutely could. But that remains to be seen, unfortunately.
All right, and I'm gonna regret asking the question to the guy wearing the Patriots shirt, but do you think top 10 will beat the Patriots for the title?
I know what he's saying.
At the end of the match, I know you'll be hearing this.
Boo! I'm sorry.
You'll be hearing that at the end of the match. Because history...
And your winner and still the champions, the Patriots.
Yeah. History will repeat itself. Granted, JT's had us one little slip-off last Friday with that triple threat match. That match was a bad performance, but throughout all of last year, and even before that, he does not slip up in the tag team division. And in all honesty, after last year, he's become a very scary competitor in the singles ranks. But like him and Snyder just click so goddamn well. Like they're such a great team. Like top 10. They're going to. It's going to be probably another competitive match, but unfortunately, like history's going to repeat itself. And once again, Patriots still their tag team champions.
I mean, I kind of hope Geppetto. For the record show, JTH is holding up a "Go Geppetto" sign.
Geppetto.
But yeah, nonetheless. So that's it for the match. But we'd be remiss if we did not bring up that incredible post-credit scene. So, spoiler alert. I don't know why you're watching this if you haven't seen the match yet. But spoiler alert for those you haven't seen. So we see pretty much building up what I assume is a horror match between Whitney Seibel and John Schnepp, of all people. And lo and behold, the man, the myth, the legend, Bubba Hotep and Ash Williams himself, Bruce fucking Campbell, walks in the room. And, that moment just wins the Schmoedown year just because Bruce Campbell and just because him being there. Yep. I know when I saw it, I nearly fell out of my chair.
Oh, yeah. Same here.
Hunter, how did you react to Bruce Campbell? I know you don't watch Ash vs. Evil Dead. But how did you react to Bruce Campbell?
No, I don't watch Ash vs. Evil Dead. I'm going to start it, but I have watched Evil Dead 1, 2, and 3, and Army of Darkness. So, I'm a huge fan of Ash Williams, a.k.a. Bruce Campbell, and I like how this was set up. Because, as Chance pointed out, I thought it was going to be a horror match between Whitney and John Schnepp. And then out from the curtain, the legend, Bruce Campbell, comes out, and I almost fell out of my chair. So cool to see him in the Schmoedown, and so cool to see the cast from Ash vs. Evil Dead come in and play a celebrity match, which I'm so psyched for that.
That's gonna be so sick. We'll talk about that match later. But JTH, your reaction to seeing Bruce Campbell himself during the Schmoedown?
Well, if anybody saw my reaction on my channel, you might know what my reaction was. I guess that's a cheap plug to my page. I'm kind of in the same boat with Hunter. I actually don't follow it all that much, although I've always wanted to. Hunter said it was a big surprise, but unfortunately, it wasn't that much of a surprise because technically, if you looked behind Whitney, every time they cut to him, they had the celebrity match sign in the background, so you knew something was coming up. But
I was not paying attention.
I caught that pretty quickly, but ultimately, that was not the celebrity appearance that I was expecting. But I'm very much excited to see how they're going to do this, especially because this is the first time I think they're actually going to do like a team crossover, like two different players from two different teams are coming together and taking part in an actual match. Like, how are they going to get along? Are they going to coexist? We don't know. Could it potentially set up something in the actual league itself? That who knows? It could be very interesting to see Team Heroes versus Critically Acclaimed if they somehow miraculously lose a match. I can't imagine if that would ever happen. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out and what everything goes from there.
All right. And Mark, your reaction to seeing good old Bruce Campbell?
Well,
Army
this
of
is
Darkness.
definitely in my top 10 right here. Army of Darkness.
I love Army of Darkness.
Top 10 movies of all time ever since I was a little kid. Like, what some of my earliest memories are watching that movie and then leading it to Evil Dead 1 and 2. I'm not the biggest fan of the remake that they did a couple of years ago, but Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell, Burn Notice, I've seen most of season 1 of Army of Darkness, but I still need to see season 2 and 3 or 2. If I think they're starting season 3 or they finished season.
Yeah, they're starting season 3.
Okay.
Season 2 just wrapped, and they're starting season 3 at the end of the month.
Oh yeah, so I can't wait to start once again binge watching Army of Ash vs. Evil Dead, but as soon as he popped up on screen, I was like, oh fuck yes, oh fuck Bruce Campbell, nice, and an Evil Dead match, like I'm so excited for it, like I can't wait to watch it.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's move on to the second match of the week. We have a match that no one really was asking for, but it's like the match we never thought we knew we needed. And I'm of course talking about Lon Harris versus Cody Hall. Okay, sorry. I'm of course talking about Lon Harris versus Cody Hall. And Mark, are you gonna bow out?
I'm just gonna mute my microphone and get back to you guys after. I haven't seen it, but I don't really care about the spoilers. I'll still watch it anyway. So I'm just gonna mute my microphone so you don't need to go ask me questions until we get to what's happening in the.
Okay.
So talk to you guys in a bit.
All right.
The match that we didn't want, but as soon as we finished that, we realized, we needed this match. Lon Harris versus Cody Hall, a match that was surprisingly a lot better than anyone, myself included, would have ever scored this match. Well, of course, Lon Harris. You had Lon Harris, who came off a stellar win, beating Mark Bernardin, who was a rising superstar in this league. you had Lon Harris going up against little Cody Hall, who has not competed in a match until this point, had not competed in a singles match since 2014.
Oh, okay.
So, you had that going against it, but really, look at the final score, and it's incredible. The final score of this match was 16-15. Lon Harris had to squeak it out in sudden death. Hunter, your overall impressions of this match?
Who, me?
Yes, you, Hunter.
First off, holy shit, Cody. Who saw that coming? 15 points and a perfect round one with the bonus. Dude, like, that was insane. And the reaction, I love the reaction of Copster and everybody in the crowd when Cody finally got the lead back. Like, you had Copster jumping up, giving him hugs like he won the damn thing. It's freaking hilarious, man. This was actually a very, very close match. Went to sudden death overtime. And, Lon Harris came out with the win by 1 point. Give it up to Cody Hall, though. The kid played a great match.
All right. And JTH, your overall impressions of this match?
As I put it on my reaction, it was a match where the movie trivia gods were asleep for about the first 30 minutes of the match, and then they finally woke up and sanity finally prevailed. You could tell that the questions were kind of eased up a little bit. You couldn't tell from my reaction because I didn't hardly get anything hardly right. Cody Hall freaking whipped my ass. That's for damn sure. But I'm not gonna lie. I've always been a fan of Lon even before he showed up to Schmoedown. I was one of the people that was really pushing and vouching for him to finally show up, and so I've always been ready to be fully behind Lon Harris whenever he comes into Schmoedown action. So I'm probably one of the 2 people on the planet that was actually rooting for Lon to actually win the match. And I was having beads of sweat going down my face and armpits and every other form on my body you could think of. Thankfully, as I said, sanity prevailed. Thank God for 1776, and thank God that Cody Hall has not seen a musical in his life, because we were saved. The movie trivia gods saved us from the tragedy that would have been Cody Hall defeating Lon Harris.
Oh, can you imagine the reaction across? Like, I think Schmoeville would have stopped if Cody Hall would have won the match. Yeah. All right. Looking at the stats for this match. Interestingly enough, Cody Hall actually had, technically speaking, Cody Hall was more accurate than Lon Harris. Cody Hall was 66.67% accurate, while Lon Harris was only 63.16% accurate. Granted, Lon did earn more points with about a 58% point possible earn, as opposed to Cody Hall's 56 points possible earn. But yeah, I think you already mentioned it. Cody Hall has become the 4th player in singles to throw a perfect round one with the bonus question. Dan Murrell couldn't do that, and even furthermore, Lon Harris himself couldn't do that. So, I asked a question: does Cody Hall, is he like a genius in disguise, or did Lon Harris just not show up to play that day? Because hold on, because you look at Lon Harris's first match. His accuracy rate was 80%, and his points possible earned was 76%. So did Lon Harris just not show up, or was he thrown off by Cody actually knowing stuff, or does Cody?
Well, not really. I mean, he still scored 60 points. That's as many as he scored the first time he played.
True, but he didn't get all the questions in the first match. So, JTH, what do you make of Lon Harris' performance this match?
I mean, I think people are overreacting a little bit. I mean, he played as well as I expected him to. I mean, yeah, he got Family Films, and Family Films is a very, very niche group of films. It can be anything, from an animated film to a movie from the frickin' 60s. It's really hard to actually pinpoint what an actual family film actually is. Granted, although I did shed a tear when they didn't get the Domino's question for Ninja Turtles, that broke my heart. And Cody didn't even get it either. I was like, shame on you, Cody. That's supposed to be a kind of move that you grew up on. The one thing about that is it's kind of funny, the irony, because if you remember, right before Cody spun in round 2, you kind of saw he was tinkering with the wheel. That was the tactician in him. He was tinkering with it, and of course, he got opponent's choice on the second spin. So you should never mess with the wheel. Bad karma always happens. And at the same time, Lon almost got spinner's choice also, but in all the categories on there were kind of out there. I mean, coming of age was on there. Coming of age is a very niche category also, so it was going to be kind of interesting to see what questions were going to come out regardless of what they were. But ultimately, I think he did pretty well. I mean, the questions, obviously, I didn't know what hardly any of them were, so I think he did as good as he possibly could. That's pretty much all I can say.
All right, Hunter. What do you make of Lon Harris' performance?
Well, first, I think he underestimated Cody. I think he went in there expecting, hell, even Cody himself expected to not get even 2 questions right. Is what he said in his interview, which I died laughing. So I felt like he went in there thinking that he was going to just blow right through Cody and then get an easy win, which is why he chose him. I think once Cody started answering all the questions right, and I think Lon started getting in his own head a little bit. But other than that, I mean, he played a great match. He won the match. It just wasn't a blowout as everyone else was expecting it to be.
Absolutely. And I was one of those people.
Yeah, I was too. I wanted Cody to win so bad, but I was like, he's not going to win. He's going to get knocked out. Sudden death.
He nearly had it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the match, during his post-interview, it seems like Lon and Cody are joining forces. They'd be like, tutelage under his wing. And in addition to, he has called out, for some reason, he's called out Christian Rubalcaba, a.k.a. the Broad Shoulder Wonder, a.k.a. Copster.
I love that trick. I love that trick.
Right?
He goes, I'm calling out Christian. Wait, Harloff? No, Christian.
Harloff? No, Copster.
No,
it's like, is this match is going to happen? And second of all, what do you think Lon Harris' ultimate game is? Because he's not going to get to a title shot by playing these like small game players. What do you think Lon Harris is playing at? Go to Hunter first.
What I think he's getting players that either don't have a great record or who need work with stuff like classics and stuff like that. And he's going to play him kind of like the professor to the student. That's the game they're going with here. And kind of like with Cody, I see Copster joining up after the match with Lon and make it kind of like, as they say, I believe he called it the Apocalypse or something like that, right?
Something like that. Well, they're the 4 horsemen now?
I'm trying to think of the name that he said. I can't remember.
Not meant, but just keep going.
Yeah, so I see Copster joining with Cody and with Lon at the very end to make this kind of mini faction where he's going to help him grow and get better at the trivia as he goes along. Kind of as before, the professor teaching the student.
Absolutely. And JTH, what do you think Lon Harris is getting at? What do you think his plan is? Do you think he's trying to, rope up the underachievers and kind of, school them to victory? What do you think is going on?
Well, me personally, I really like the Lon Harris character right now that they're doing with the whole professor thing, trying to teach the younger guys up. And in a way for the Schmoedown, it makes sense because it gives the younger guys a chance to show up and compete. And it gives, Lon something to do with a lot of the other players around the league. Just like in wrestling, every kind of league needs kind of a lower card act, to kind of bring up, some of the talent that's starting out. And I think Lon fits that category perfectly. Yeah, especially with guys like Cody and Copster. Yeah, you could potentially, Mike Carlson's probably another person that could potentially do something like that. I can't imagine somebody like Botanicus and Lon Harris coexisting on Schmoedown.
Absolutely. All right, so that's it for that match. Mark, you can unmute your mic now because we're gonna talk about now we talked about the week that was. Now let's talk about the week that is coming. First of all, we already talked about the Evil Dead match, so we're not really gonna touch a lot on that one. First thing I want to touch on, we have a Inner Geekdom Fatal 5-Way. Of course, it's going to be Inner Geekdom match between 5 different players. First of all, we have returning competitor Koi Jandrew. We also have returning team competitor. He has now been in singles. This is going to be his kind of breakout debut. We have Adam Hlavik, formerly of Team Superhero News. But that's no longer a thing. We'll do it if you saw the match between them and Heroes. We also in the match we were just talking about him. Botanicus himself, Mike Carlson, is making his Schmoedown debut, and the other 2 players are going to be. I can't remember their names.
Mark B. Donica and
Mark B. Donica and I knew. No, I said Kojandra. I'm trying to remember the other one.
Oh, you're cutting out big time, so I couldn't hear if you said Koi Jandrew. I don't know.
No, I said Kojandra. Just give me a wait. I'm so sorry. Okay. So it's gonna be Kojandra, Mike Carlson, Adam Hlavik. Other one. Mark, help me out. Mark B. Donica. Mark B. Donica and Keaton Marchie. So you look at this lineup. You think we're for any surprises? Who do you think is going to emerge the victor of this one based on what you know? I'll go to Mark first. Mark, who do you think is going to emerge the victor of this 5-way?
As people who've actually competed and who's have been relatively impressive in Inner Geekdom, off and on, unfortunately off and on, but I'd have to go with my boy from Marvel Movie News, Koi Jandrew, is my for it. But just because I have yet to see how the other guys compete. You may be knowledgeable in Inner Geekdom, but you've also got to have the recall ability. So I have yet to see the other competitors' recall ability when it comes to competing in matches. So you may be. You may have all the information, but you gotta have the quickness to recall it. So the only person I've seen.
All right, I'm gonna.
It's Koi.
Sorry for cutting you off, Mark. I'm gonna go next. I'm actually gonna predict. I'm going with Adam Hlavik because Adam Hlavik, I think he has that knowledge. He has that recall. He is very good. It's a shame he was on the most underachieving team in Schmoedown history, and. Who his partner was on that team, former Inner Geekdom champion Hector Navarro. So I think if he's half as good as Hector was, well, not even half. I think he's just as good as Hector is, and I think he's going to take this 5-way. Hunter, who do you think is going to emerge victorious in the 5-way?
Who was that?
Hunter.
Oh, JTH. Okay.
Oh, me? Okay. I want. Say it with me now, Chance. Mark Donica. That's who I want to win. But I'm actually with you. I actually think Adam's probably going to win. Simply because I've seen him much more back from his Superhero News days, so I know he's a very knowledgeable person when it comes to the Inner Geekdom stuff. Mike Carlson, he's kind of up and down. I know he knows some comic book stuff. I know he knows some Star Wars stuff, but it's not enough for me to actually put the blind faith into it. Koi Jandrew didn't really have a very impressive showing last time he was on there, and that fatal 4-way. And I haven't seen enough about the other players to know what they bring. But I'm actually with you. I think Adam Hlavik's probably going to win. And of course, I have no idea who's in the other 5-way, but it is interesting because Adam Hlavik at one point, from what I remember, was supposed to actually play a regular singles match against Jim Vejvoda, but I guess that got scrapped. Whether Adam just felt like he rather would just be an Inner Geekdom or not, but I think it shows that his overall movie knowledge he believes in. But he just feels a lot stronger than Inner Geekdom. That's probably why he made the move. So, yeah, I'm with you, Chance. I think Adam's going to probably take this.
All right. And Hunter.
I'm gonna agree with Mark. I'm gonna go with Coy to win this one. Personally, I like his attitude towards the game. I like the way he plays. Plus, you can tell he's really knowledgeable on other stuff besides just Marvel movies. I mean, him and Kalinowski, they were the last two, I believe, in either the 4-way or the 5-way, one of the two. It could have gone either way on that one. So I feel like this is the time that Coy really shows what he's made of.
All right. So we got 2 for Adam and 2 for Coy. Interesting. No one's calling anybody else. All right. And our last match, we have a Friday. We have a double header. The undercard match is going to be Dorian Parks and Demi. Not even going to attempt to pronounce their last name. We've already talked about
the Alphabet Man.
Yeah, the Alphabet Man. We talked about them pre-recording. We don't really know these guys. We're not going to comment on that match. We are going to comment on the main event, though. The main event is going to be Jeff the Insider Snyder versus Baby Carrot's Mark Ellis. This is going to be interesting because you have a team champion versus former team champion, and Mark Ellis coming off of a, for lack of a better word, disaster of a 2017. I believe the dude went 0-2 last year. Hunter, who do you think is going to come out on top in the Snyder versus Ellis match?
See, this one's kind of hard because, as you said, I mean, Ellis hasn't really had that good of a. But I mean, you never know what's going to happen. So I'm going to go, even though I don't like him, I'm going to say that Snyder comes out with the victory. I just feel like he's been more impressive, and I think Ellis could pull it out. He could, and I'd be happy if he does. I just feel like, based on his 2017 record, I feel like Snyder might edge it out just a little bit.
All right. I think I already know where he's going, but Mark, who do you got winning this match?
I wonder, who do I think's gonna win this match? I think it might be Baby Carrots. No, wait, no. I'm sorry. I forgot it's not opposite day. Jeff Snyder, of course. Yep.
You still acknowledge opposite day?
And Snyder probably would have been made it further into the singles tournament if he wasn't so distracted with the absolute unfortunate situation with his mom, and the fact that him going up against JTE. Those are the two things that hurt him in this singles tournament, in my opinion. And Snyder's one of the best competitors in the league, in the singles at least. He's definitely another top competitor. And Ellis is unfortunately, 2016 was his year. 2017 was basically, you had the rise of Mark Ellis in 2016, and you had the fall in 2017. Basically, it was the reverse opposite of what happened with JTE. JTE in his singles had a terrible 2016, but Mark Ellis had a great. In 2016, the same could be said about Jeff Snyder, though. He had a great 2016 too, and also a really great 2017. Outside of the personal issue, and going up against Harloff, and then JTE, basically both those matches hurt his title chances.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, I'm going with Snyder on this one, just by history and performance alone.
All right, JTH, you gonna go against the grain, or you gonna go Snyder?
See, this is interesting for me because everything that Mark said about JTE, I think we can pretty much apply with with Ellis this year. I actually think Ellis is going to have a very similar track that JT had last year. I think this is the year that Ellis is probably going to get things together, simply because he doesn't have any pressure anymore. He's not going into matches now expecting that he's going to win and expecting to be the favorite. I think now he can just go in there and play loose and go in there with nothing to lose. And I actually think that Ellis is actually going to win this match, honestly, because Snyder actually has not he won his first match in the tournament against Nost, but he didn't really have a great performance in that match. And, of course, he lost to JT in the second round. And then, of course, he lost to Christian when I picked him to win. And, of course, he lost. The best showing that he had all last year, in my opinion, was his match against McWeeny. And that was, again, a match that nobody thought that he was going to win. That's kind of the trait that we had all last year, where match between two great players, usually the player that people didn't expect was going to win was the one that won, simply because of the pressure thing. You know, you go into a match, nobody expects you to win, you play loose, and you usually end up beating them. I think this is going to be a similar situation. Ellis is going to go in with no pressure. Snyder's going to have the pressure of trying to do what JTH is doing, or JTE, excuse me. I was my name mixed up with him. And I think Snyder's going to feel the pressure of trying to do what JTE has done, and I think Ellis is going to take him.
All right. And going to me, I kind of echo a lot of points that JTH has. I feel like Ellis is going to restructure, go back, do some soul searching. I think he's going to come back even stronger this year than he did last year. Because, you look at his matches, he kind of – I'm not gonna say there weren't unjustified losses, but there were some – he did get screwed on some questions, and when he gets in his own head, the biggest enemy Mark Ellis had last year was him getting in his own head. So I feel like if he can overcome that problem, he can take Snyder. I think he's just as good. I think he's just as capable, and I think he's going to take him out Friday. So that is it for us here at This Week in Schmoedown. Because his channel, anything that can be plugged is already here. So go and trade to JTH, anything you want to plug before we go?
You can follow me on Twitter at WWEJTH1. You can follow my my Schmoedown reactions, JTH, exact same name. And really looking forward to Schmoedown Season 5. Can't wait to see everything that they give us going forward.
And Mark, anything you want to plug before we go?
At the moment, I've got nothing really to plug. I guess try to friend me on Facebook. But if you're watching this, you're probably one of my friends already. So
fair enough. And all right.
Patriots.
And as for me, of course, Patriots. And for me, of course, Twitter and Instagram at ChanceWars91 and YouTube at Chance the Critic. Thank you for watching. And we will see you next week to discuss the next week of Schmoedown. Until then, thank you and goodbye.
Bye.